Sorry, guys. We got derailed somehow from StreamYard. Don't know why it didn't work. Now I've got to find it again on my iPad. I can't for some reason. Let me search. I'm sorry, y'all. This is just a weird anomaly. Um, okay, so
Yeah, if
you
you
did a different thing. You gotta, okay.
yeah, go to the previous broadcast.
Oh, you made it. Thank you. Between two towns. We had issues. I don't exactly know what's going on, but okay, here we are.
Hey, between two towns. Yeah, this is a little confusing. Sorry about that, but for some reason the feed to the previous link on YouTube did not work. So tried to exit it, restart it, wouldn't let us restart it. So we created a new thread. I hope this doesn't lose people. Probably going to lose some, but it's the best we can do. Some of these things are beyond our control. So,
Very true.
and don't know whether it's necessarily YouTube or StreamYard or even us, our equipment. Could be any of them. But we got this one going, so we'll just roll with this one. So good to see you.
Sorry,
And for
guys.
those, yeah, for those on the replay crew, it's probably easier. I may go ahead and try to delete the other one, even though
Okay,
that's the one link. Probably ought to leave it up for a little while.
maybe it's just. I mean, this is. I've always heard that when you get monetized, then they tend to kind of try to tear you down, but it's very strange.
Well, they've got a long way to go.
They do. We're not going to give up.
We're not going to give up. We're not going to quit. We're
Is
here.
Melissa? Is Melissa here? Melissa wanted some information on 401ks. And hi, Brentwood.
Hey, Brentwood, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Sorry for the confusion. Just explaining the technical difficulties. Don't know what we were. We just could not get the other stream to work in terms of video, and so we started a new stream. Ellen is looking weird and pointing to the computer. Her mouth is moving, but we can't hear her. Ellen is having, because her microphone has been muted. Can't unmute your guest. Their mic isn't connected. Okay, so maybe we need to admit that the technical problems weren't with YouTube or StreamYard. Anybody read lips? I'd like a translation on that. So it is good to be here with you on Tuesday night Q&A. We have kind of a little informal session here tonight. You know, it's kind of open-ended. Take questions from y'all. Some have been, some may be submitted in writing. We had a question or two in the comments. There's some really weird sounds coming now. Ellen, you have a video going in the background. That's okay. She's the marketing and computer professional. Ellen, you've got something going in the background, rolling in the background. Yes, between two towns, we are professionals here. Oh, geez. Thank you, Brentwood. I tried to change the description to give people a heads up. Ellen is calling me now. So if y'all will hold on, I'll be on the phone for a second. Hello, E-Train. Put it on the speaker. We're on speaker with E-Train.
Okay, so my light is on. I'm plugged in. And it says my mic is not working. And I don't understand why it says it's not plugged in. It's plugged in.
Okay. Do you have your computer on mute by any chance? Computer mic on mute.
No. It's saying, looks like your mic was unplugged. I can unplug it and plug it back in.
Hello, Melissa. Good to see you. Ellen is having technical difficulties, so she is on the phone, on the speaker phone, but glad you could join us.
Can you hear me now?
Try it again. Nope. Is your mic turned on? I can't see it. I'll take your word for it.
It's the red button.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's try this. Bye, y'all, for a second.
uh,
How about now?
that is a big negative, Ghost Rider. Pattern is full.
Y'all, I'm trying. I just don't know what to do. Okay, devices. We have all the things.
Is there a mute button on the mic itself?
Yeah. Okay, let me show you this because I know you can see me and I can't see you right now. But if I do, okay, see it's red.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't it be green?
It's blinking. That means it's mute.
Okay.
So it's not on mute anymore. Do I have to come back downstairs?
I'm thinking that's a good chance.
What is up?
Unless you want to try to restart your computer.
I can try that. You talk about 401ks because that's what Melissa asked about. So I'm just in the background.
Okay. I'm going to leave the phone on. I won't hold it up. Let's see. This is just kind of interesting. I'm glad we're such a formal, talented, professional kind of crowd here. In the news today, I feel like a news broadcaster now. In the news today, couple of big things, couple of fairly good sized things, actually. We had the JOLTS number. JOLTS is a major is job openings, and they came in with very surprising results, far lower than expected. In fact, the consensus number was about the number of July was 9.582 million. The consensus, the estimate for this month was 9.5 million, 9.5 million. Well, the number came in at 8.8 million. That's a crash. That is the first sub 9 million print since 21, when COVID was raging. And it's the third biggest miss. The difference between the expected and the actual, the miss, third biggest miss in history. Huge number to the market. In addition, that's not all. In addition, the BLS, the agency that produces these numbers, has been revising the previous months. So for every month this year with JOLTS, with payrolls, they produce a number and say, oh, this is the result. And it's actually been pretty good numbers. And then the month after that, they revise them downward. Every single data point in the Biden administration has been revised sharply lower. I'll give you an example here. Here is payrolls. This number is December. This begins
January.
And the green
is the original number.
I'm actually getting some feedback
from Ellen.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I'm hanging up.
Thank good Lord. Thank you.
Amazing what having a good IT person in the house is worth.
Thanks, Clay. Yeah, I was still on speakerphone. That's why you heard the echo.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I killed that. That should take care of the echo.
Oh, for FFS.
But if you need, any IT help, my rates are reasonable. So you've all got my email, my Twitter. We'll pass out my phone a little later. Just feel free to give me a call. IT Online. It's going to be the new channel.
The problem is I was a computer science major and I'm like, everything is exactly as it should be. I don't understand why this is not working.
Except restarting the computer once a year. Hey, Quadi, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. All right, payrolls. So this is January. The green is the original number, quote, and the red is the last estimate, the revision. And as you can tell, every month the revisions are going down. This month, the July numbers, well, there's been no revision, so they're the same. But the cool thing is this revision every month is a statistical impossibility. Yes, there's going to be randomness in the numbers. There's going to be some noise. There's going to be some changes. There's going to be some updated information. But to have everyone going in the same direction, the old adage in the market is buy on the rumor, sell on the news. So in a sense, the initial release is the one that gets all the headlines. Nobody pays attention or hears about the revisions. So you've got a little bit of a news cycle thing possibly going on. The evidence is in the consistency of the trend, which is statistically never happened before. Doesn't mean it's totally impossible. It's just highly, highly improbable. Let me say that. So, but eventually the revisions, the fluff in the original numbers have to be corrected. And so counting the drop from the consensus plus the drop in the revision, you've got 1.5 million jobs that just vaporized.
Wait. Are we talking about payrolls?
Yes.
Sorry, I was restarting my computer and trying to do the dogs and everything. So I missed sort of the beginning of this.
Yeah, the JOLT survey, the job survey came out, and I'm just using payrolls here as an example. So the BLS basically drastically slashed the number from 9.6, right below 9.6 million, to last month's revision of 9.16, and then this month's number of 8.8. So lost 1.5 million jobs, just vaporized. And 1.5 million out of 9 million jobs, that's pretty significant. That's why we're talking about the largest miss, the largest error since COVID.
Wait,
and
but
COVID
I heard there
was
were
a highly unusual time.
I heard there are 1.9 jobs per person in the United States.
Well, this latest number, that's also part of the JOLT survey, that
Mhm.
dropped to 1.5. The lowest since the number of job openings dropped to about 2.9 million. And
Mhm.
that's the lowest number since, again, the COVID period,
Right.
August
was
of 21, if I remember.
and I'm not doing it again. I am not going to stay at home again. I will not wear a mask again. I will not do the things.
Well, we're not on COVID yet. We're on JOLTS.
I know. Just saying.
Um, so a enormously, if you follow these numbers, which I know throwing numbers at you gets a little tedious, but this was really highly unusual to see this kind of major difference. Not only that, we got industrial production numbers a couple weeks ago.
Y'all, Brentwood, it will never show up on what you're looking at, but she gifted 5 memberships. Thank you.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brentwood. That's just terribly sweet. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, and
Aw.
this is new to me. It's a little bit embarrassing, I guess. I enjoy being with you and I enjoy talking about this. I love finance and investing and the markets. And I'm kind of amazed that some of y'all will join and listen in and chip in, and much less actually contribute financially. And I don't really expect that. So it's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's never been about the money. It's just been about sharing information. And I guess it's just a bonus. I mean, that we didn't expect
And
for a very long time. And we appreciate you guys so much.
And there is, where is it? There is kind of a cost to putting this on. I mean, we've got, we pay StreamYard $600. We've got multiple Adobe subscriptions for photos, for stock, for the use of their services. We've got fees with Twitter and Rumble, et cetera, et cetera. Now, suppose we actually start making more money than what we have in expenses. I was thinking probably would get a question from y'all. What are we going to use the revenue for off the channel? It's kind of a fair question. And I don't think many providers, many YouTube creators, whatever you want to call them, address that. Well, I thought I would give you some idea of why we do memberships and all, what this money will go toward. Well, one thing would be Ellen having a girls' night in. She doesn't really go out, but she'll have a girls' night in. It will also enable us not to ask for your Netflix password.
Oops.
It will pay rent for all of those people for the space I take up in their mind. Did I happen to mention somebody actually reported me or sent an email to the chancellor, the
Okay,
dean,
let's
and the chair?
hang on. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. We will do a girls' night sometime. We're going to figure that out. We will all meet in some spot that is centrally located between all of us, and we will do a girls' night. Definitely.
That would be kind of cool.
It would be kind of cool. We will just,
I'll just
when girls all get
convert my
together.
gender for the night and join on in.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So what else can we do with the money?
No, but hang on. But Clay did actually get turned in this week by someone who created a spoof Facebook page just for fun, just to say that he was anti-science and an idiot, basically,
Yeah,
which was fun
shithead, a
to
few
deal
other
with.
things. And so they were wondering how the university could employ somebody so hatefully anti-science. So it was kind of fun. I always said you can tell a lot about somebody. You can judge somebody by the character of their friends and the character of their enemies. So I don't think I can count this person as a friend, but somebody who creates a fake email and a fake Facebook page so they can call me names, I just feel like I'm doing something right.
And that
So-
was actually the first text he sent to me. He said, someone emailed the chancellor, the dean, the chair. I must be doing something right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
emailed about what? Like, what are you even talking about? I have no idea where you're going with this.
Yeah, they were not happy with me, but that's okay. So some other that's Chunk's toy. He's probably paying great attention to Ellen right now, the alligator. So what are some other uses we can do with the money? Well, we want you to feel like we're actually listening to you when you're yelling out, "Shut up and take my money." Or how about because inflation has killed a penny for my thoughts? So got to up the price now. How about scotch is better when someone else pays for it? That's a
You've
damn
got so
good
much
reason right there.
scotch, that's just ridiculous. Okay, Chunk needs attention. Come here.
This is probably going to be the main reason. Chunk needs treats.
He just threw his alligator on my computer.
He wants. Can you tell he is intensely interested in that gator?
Yeah, there's a local pet store here, and they had a hard time during COVID. And honestly, I used to go to PetSmart or wherever, but then I started going there. Clay and I both went there, and we just donated money and bought things we didn't even need just because they needed it. They needed to support their business. And so, honestly, what we do with most of the money that we have is give it away. And if Clay doesn't, I will. So,
One or the other.
mhm.
And there's a couple other things we can do with the money. For example, we can prove that happiness can't buy you money.
Mm-mm. Happiness can't buy you money. Money can't buy you happiness, Dodo.
How about because Katharine Hepburn once said, if you're given a choice between money and sex appeal, take the money. As you get older, the money will become your sex appeal. Well, I'm getting older.
Now,
Or
will you stop with this? You're just getting kind of ridiculous at this point. Can we just move on from this? Can you talk about 401ks?
how about I need more books?
Oh, Green Bean's talking back. I know, right? Tallulah. Let's get
How
on to
about
401ks.
I've done the math
actual question.
and my chances of winning the lottery are identical whether I play or not.
Clay has had a very
Okay.
long day. He's very tired. Bless him.
We do this because a nickel ain't worth a dime anymore.
It never was, dear.
Anyway, Ellen is just not appreciating my sharp wit and
Tired
sense
humor.
of humor.
Your tired humor.
Crazy Cat Queen, good to see you. My internet is glitchy.
Hey,
the only
girl.
thing I heard when I was able to get on for like 5 seconds was a girls' night. What did I miss?
Well, we were talking about taking the money from the channel and having like we all meet the girls, not Clay, somewhere central to everyone and having a girls' night.
She just assumed my gender.
I know your gender.
I'm going to write a letter to the chancellor.
And yes, crazy cat queen. Clay had someone create a whole fake email, fake Facebook page, and turn him into the chancellor, the dean, and the chair.
So
Okay, Clay, duck
yeah,
your
it was,
head. Do this for a
you
sec.
got to understand that the chair and I looked at the things he was complaining about. We got a good laugh. The dean is the guy who hired me, and when he gets a complaint from somebody, he goes, "That's just Moffat." And the chancellor probably won't even read it. But I appreciate somebody going to all that trouble. You know, if I'm taking up that much space in their head, they have very little else going on upstairs.
All right, duck your head for a sec.
Me,
Yeah.
duck
Let me
my
see if
head.
I can get you. Yep. Mm-hmm. All the way down. You can do it.
What are you doing?
The scotch on your behind you.
Oh,
See? We've got all kinds of lovely bottles. And yes, those actual boxes have bottles in them. And then we have a whole shelf full of scotch because Clay students love him so much that we have more scotch than we will ever drink. Ever. Ever.
sometimes when they are graduating, they will buy me a bottle of scotch or bring me a gift or something. It's really the best part of the job. And they'll come in, we'll crack the bottle, have a drink, whatever. And yeah, it's the best part of the job. Not gonna lie.
And they come back and they're still a family that comes down here that we go see. Preston, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll have students come in, they get married, they have baby, they'll be in town. We'll go grab a beer or drink. If
Or
they're
just a
single, we'll
burger.
go grab a
Weenies.
beer, go play pool, do something. So I have a number of them that, or if I go to a town like New York or Chattanooga, I'll, send out an announcement and have a dinner somewhere some night, be joined by 6, 8, 10 of them. And it's good. It's the best part of the job. I just can't really, I don't have the words to explain it any better. But, I love them. They're very gracious toward me. And it is terribly rewarding. Yeah, just don't do it for the money. Do it just for the love. Now, there are some students that are not big fans of mine.
You had that one's mother call you and say you should be easier on her kid.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times actually. But the one Ellen was talking to, Mother called and said I was being kind of hard on her daughter. She was, a little bit offended or bothered by some of the things that I said. I don't remember the exact words, and I felt, I felt what she was saying, and I understood that her daughter was not happy in my class, and so I just told her, college is not for everybody. And we had a long talk about a 20-year-old student that needs her mom calling for her when she is having a little bit of a challenge or a problem or is not performing up to expectations, and the professor in private tells her such, that she can do better and he expects better from her.
That female should never enter the military.
Actually, she probably should. It might help
help.
her out some.
Where's my squeaky toy? I will send you one. Email me your address. I will send you a gator for green bean because it is kind of like a green bean, this little gator.
Chunk loves that thing, and he will.
And we just got it because I love supporting that woman. So email us your address. I will send you one.
That's funny. All right. 401ks. Got a question about, what's good, bad, or indifferent about a 401k. If you're, going to work for a new firm and they offer
Hang on, pause.
this.
So, Melissa, I blew up. I forget just believe your students can do that work. That's funny, crazy cat queen. Melissa, I actually sent Clay your question, and then I sent him like a ton of follow-up questions because I was like, this is what I would want to know. And so I hope he's fully prepared to answer all of these. Go.
Well, I can answer most of the ones that I know. If you ask me a question I don't know the answer to, then I'll at least be honest and tell you. What was the specific question? It was like, should I do a 401k?
New employer offered a 401k, no experience in 401ks. Should she invest?
Okay. Generally, a 401k is a corporate retirement plan that you are eligible for as an employee after you've worked. Some of it's 90 days, some of it may be a year, depends on the company and how they've got it set up. But once you're eligible, you can take a portion of your pay and put it in the 401k. It will go in tax deferred. So it reduces your taxable income. It accumulates on a tax deferred basis. And then when you take it out, when you retire, you're taxed on it like income. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I got it. If your employer matches
Okay, not yet.
your investment.
Let me lay out the basics and then we'll expand it. Fair enough?
But
Miss
Okay.
ADD.
Hmm?
Ellen's so excited.
Actually-
She's got these questions she wants to ask, and it's like, forget everything else. You got to get to these questions.
It's ADHD, not ADD anymore. They actually got rid of that.
Did they? You still
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever it is. No, she Ellen gets excited. She loves some of this stuff too. And that's a cool thing. That's a beautiful thing. So
Here you go.
401k, new employee with the corporation. It's a retirement plan. And in many of the 401ks, the employer will match a portion or all of what you contribute. Now, normally this is like, for example, if you contribute 6% of your income, the employer will match half of that or 100% of that. So like with the state of North Carolina, I put in 6% of my income, they put in 6%. So I'm
But there's-
actually immediately putting in 12% of my income.
But there's a limit, right? To what you
A
can put
limit
in.
on,
How much you can put into a 401k per year.
yes, there is.
Okay. Is there a limit to a
Um,
mutual fund? Sorry, I'm
Ellen?
way ahead of myself. I know. I'll
You-
hush.
The cool thing is I live with this all the time. This is just life sometimes. But it's, when she's happy and excited and cranking, it's more entertaining than it is irritating.
I appreciate that, babe. Thanks.
So, with a 401k, the corporation can and usually will match a portion of your contribution. So immediately you have that return. Now, with the money that you put in, the money that's taken out of your paycheck, you are always the owner of it. So even if you retire in a year, that money moves with you. You can roll it over into an IRA. You can't continue in the 401k, but that money is always yours. The money the corporation contributes, there's something called a vesting schedule, vesting, and it's where you're entitled to a percentage of what the corporation has contributed, depending on the number of years you work. A common vesting schedule would be 20 or 30% a year. So you're always own 100% of what you contribute. Out of what the corporation contributes, for the first year you work, you get 20%. Second year, 40. Third year,
Whoa.
60.
Whoa. Wait. So if you put in, I'm just going to use easy numbers, $100 a year, and the company puts in $100 a year, they match
Right.
you. You only
Yes.
get 20% of that.
No, you get your $100 always, plus
Right.
any interest earned, any return.
But the 20% of what company put in.
You get, yes, if they have a 5-year vesting schedule. So in the second year,
Okay.
you get 40% of what the company has contributed. Third year,
All right, hang on.
60%. After the fifth year, you're 100% vested. You get everything in the plan that has been contributed and earned, regardless of whether or not you put it in or the company put it in. Crazy Cat Queen. So the contribution to the 401k has a limit, but is the limit based on what you yourself contributes, or does the limit also have to include the match from your company? It only is limited by what you contribute.
But you only get on a 5-year vesting schedule 20% of what they contribute
Hold on.
the first year.
Hold on, Ellen. Let me just do one question at a time.
I'm sorry.
With a 401k, you have a maximum contribution limit of $22,500. With an IRA, it's $6,500 per year. So it is possible to have a 401k and an IRA. So whatever you contribute is limited by that cap, 22.5, and then plus whatever the company contributes on its own. The vesting schedule is simply the percentage of the company's contribution you're entitled to by year. Now, a few companies offer immediate vesting, but most of them have a 3-year or a 5-year vesting schedule. So that would be common. Crazy Cat Queen. But if
Yeah.
you stay for 20 years, at that time, the full 100% company contribution is paid out. Yes. The maximum.
I've always been self-employed though, so I've never had
Yeah.
this situation.
I believe the
KP.
maximum vesting period is 5 years. So the company can do it on a shorter basis, but the employee has to be
Oh, here
fully
we go.
vested in the company contributions by the end of 5 years. Now, if you want to compare like a 401k to an IRA, obviously you've got the different contribution limits. IRAs, any individual can set up an IRA. Even the spouse of an individual can set up an IRA without earned income. 401ks, are generally employer matched. They have bigger limits. The 401k, the corporation selects the things you can invest in, like you can invest in the company's stock, or they may give you a few investment funds that you can choose, but you have to invest in one of those approved investments. And you can allocate it among the different approved investments, and you can do something different with the corporate money contributed versus what you do your own money contributed. So that's pretty flexible inside the plan, but you are limited to the assets that the company has selected: mutual funds, stocks, whatever.
All right, Melissa's got another question.
Sure. So I would only get the amount the company contributed, if they contribute, if I stay for a certain length of time. Yes, ma'am. You'll get at least 20% if you stay a year. I'm not sure exactly what that company does, but that's the minimum. So it may be greater than that. Some companies may have a 3-year vesting schedule, so you'd get 33%. It just depends on the individual nuances of the particular plan.
Another question.
Catch-up option. Okay, I'll get to that in just a second. With an IRA, you have a much more flexible investment selection because you can invest it in real estate, for example. If you
Hey,
want
Clay.
to buy a piece of land to retire on,
Clay, what's
Yes,
the difference between an IRA, a 401k, and a mutual fund?
well, I'm explaining that. Trying to.
Well, you just said
No.
IRA. And
Yeah, the 401k is, and we've talked, I guess, okay, I should have answered that better. Because I was thinking in the back of my mind, we talked about IRAs previously, but maybe everybody watching hasn't heard that or seen that or not familiar with that. So the 401k is only for a corporation. Now, you can establish a corporation, a business, and create a 401k in that, but you have to have a corporation. It's a corporate plan, corporate retirement plan. IRA is for an individual retirement account, IRA, individual retirement plan. And there are two types of IRAs. There's the regular IRA, there's the Roth IRA. Now, the regular IRA works tax-wise like a 401k. Whatever money you contribute to it, you're able to deduct from your taxes. So you're not taxed on it, federal or state. It accumulates, both plans accumulate tax-free while they're in the plan. And then for a traditional, when you take money out of the IRA, when you retire and start living off of it, you're taxed just like it was salary or income. Now, a Roth is just the opposite of that. When you contribute money in a Roth, you don't pay tax. You don't get to deduct it. So you're
you pay
using
taxes the current
after-tax
tax
dollars.
rate.
Pardon?
You're paying the current tax rate.
Yeah, it's just like on your paycheck, you get a taxable salary amount. If it's a traditional IRA and you put in $5,000, you get to deduct that $5,000. If you put it in a Roth IRA, you don't get to deduct that $5,000. Does that make
But
sense?
when you deduct it, yes, you have to pay taxes on it later.
Yeah, in a traditional, you get the deduction now, you pay taxes later. With
How
a
many
Roth,
times does the tax
with a
rate go
Roth,
down?
you don't deduct it now, but you don't pay taxes on it later. So like I was showing my kids
taxes
today.
go down.
They may go up. Don't know. But I was showing kids in one of my classes today. I was saying, you've got choices in life. What do you want to, do you really want to be a millionaire when you reach 60 or 65 and you're ready to retire 40, 45 years from now? And everyone says yes. And I ask them, no, I'm serious. Do you really, really want to be a millionaire? And they all are like, yeah, I'm serious. And I said, are you willing to give up $30 or $50 a month in drinking? Because if you take $50 a month and invest it in an average stock fund for 45 years, you will have $1.2 million by the time you're 65.
What is I got to find that calculator again because people need catch-up options because a lot of us are a little bit older.
Yeah,
I'm
just
sorry, I'm trying to
Google
read
financial calculator.
I'll put the link.
And when you do that,
That's not the website though. Is it?
no, let's see.
Is it an org or a com?
It's .gov, the one I use.
It's not coming up.
Investor.gov.
Can you put it on the stream
Yeah, I'm working on it.
or on the comments? We use these a lot to go through, like, what do I have to invest to make this when I get this age?
Yeah,
I don't see
if you
it.
don't have one, this is an easy one to do. For example, if I'm telling my kids to invest $50 a month, they have zero initial investment. They're starting something brand new, and they're going to put in $50 a month. Is that big enough for y'all to see? Hope so.
No. Can you blow it up a little bit? We could just do, how about,
Is that a little
this?
better?
How's that?
So you have zero to start off with. You're investing $50 a month. Now, you're going to do this for 45 years. If you start at age 20 and you think, I want this by age 65, you've got 45 years. Interest rate, the average stock fund, a mediocre stock fund over a 10, 20, 30, 75-year period normally averages between 10 and 14%. So let's just use 12% is the average. And we're going to say just there's no variance. I don't care about a range of outcomes right now. And compound frequency would be monthly because I'm putting in $50 a month. So I want my compound frequency to match my investment time. And if I tell it to calculate, I have $1.1 million. Now, let's say, that's kind of cool. But what if I wanted to, in 5 years, double my contribution to $100 a month? Well, I go back up here and I do this for 5 years and say, how much do I have in 5 years? I have $4,083. Then I say in 5 years, I'm going to have $4,083. And I'm going to change this 50 to $100 a month.
There you go.
And I'm going to invest that for an additional 40 years. Because remember, I started off 45 years. I did 50 for 5 years. I'm going to do 100 for 40 years. Still going to keep the same
with
rate.
the earnings that you had at the 50.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And how much will I have by 65 under that scenario? Calculate.
1.6
million.
Oh, 1.7 almost.
66 and change. Yeah. I'm just using round numbers.
Sorry.
So it's an easy calculator to do what ifs. What if in another 5 years I want to go to $200? You just keep changing that scenario however you want.
Let's do this just for fun. Let's say you did 5 years, okay, at 50. We have the original contribution. Let's do $100 a month at 50 or for 5 years, and then take that amount and then reinvest it.
Okay. In 5 years from now,
if
I'm
you
doing
invested
$50. I'm doing $50 for 5 years.
Right.
I have $4,083 at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 years from now, my initial quote unquote investment is $4,083. $100. I'm going to do that for 5 years. So I change that to 5. Everything else remains the same. Calculate. So
no, hang on, it's still working.
It's grinding.
Grind.
Come on, baby. Don't be difficult for me.
Come on, sweetheart. You gotta be faster than that.
I might have to. There it goes.
Okay. 15.
So 10 years from now,
15, and then
10 years from now,
200.
Ellen, hold on.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting
10
ahead
years
of
from
yourself.
now, one more time, I'm going to mute her if she does it again. 10 years from now, I had $50 a month for 5 years, $100 a month for 5 years.
5 years.
I've got $15,600. So if I want to do another what if, I've got $15,600. I take my monthly contribution to $200 a month. Length of time. Now, I've already knocked out 10 of my 45 years, so I've got 35 years left. Everything else the same. Calculate. I'm now
Boom.
at 2.3 million.
That was
Okay.
my point. Yep.
So you can do whatever kind of what ifs you want on this. It's simple. You may want a piece of paper, write down the timeline or the numbers to keep track with what you're doing, but it's very simple and straightforward to use. And this can be a valuable tool in helping you plan.
Because you almost doubled it just by taking out what you had, right?
Yes.
Putting it in and then adding more to it. I mean, that's huge.
And it gives you a nice little graph. The green numbers are actually your investment, the money out of your pocket over this time period. The red shows the interest, the compounding. That's why we call it or refer to it as the miracle of compounding, because particularly in the later years, it really starts blowing up. It even goes exponential.
Yeah, and it gets better
it
if
is
you
an
take out your
exponential function.
investment. Yeah. It gets better if you take out the investment that you put in. Okay, take that out, reinvest it in the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Now,
just an add.
this is why the Roth IRA may, in general, be better for you, because in these years, particularly in the younger years, you put in 5,000 or 6,000. It may save you $200, $500, or $1,000 in taxes, which probably won't make a big difference to your lifestyle.
He used 12%.
But when you're 65
Brentwood.
and retire, and you're taking out $50,000, $100,000 a year, whatever it is, you don't owe taxes on that.
Yeah,
that will make
fine.
a big difference to you.
Brentwood, he used 12%, which
Yes.
is a interest rate that is typical.
It's the historic return for the stock market over most any 10, 20, 30, 50, 75 year period. Now, you can find a couple of 10-year periods where it didn't earn that, but you have to be almost perfect in selecting your buy point and your sell point. If you slide it up and down the timeline, you generally will be back to 12%. So does that make sense to everybody? Hope so.
Do you guys have any questions about that whatsoever?
Yeah, if there's something I say that doesn't make sense, you let me know. Or if you think of questions later, let me know. Melissa, my aunt and uncle did that for my cousins, so they'll have at least $1 million when they retire. I tell my kids in class, what are you going to appreciate more when you're older? Having $1 million in the bank or a night at Red Dogs you don't remember?
Y'all may not
You
know
choose.
what Dogs is, but it's a college bar.
Yeah, it's a dive. I always rag on Red Dogs here in town because years ago in Surf Magazine, it was rated the number one place on the East Coast to pick up an STD.
Wait. Red Dogs is not in our town where we live. It is
few
2
miles
towns
away.
away.
It's in the area. Yeah. Yeah, it's in the metropolitan area. But it's a beach bar that a lot of the students go to.
It's a beach bar. Yeah.
Yeah. And so ever since I saw that survey in, I think it was Surf Magazine. I've kind of used Red Dogs to, as a kind of like, if they come in groggy, drugged, do horrible on a test, I'm going to be like, did Red Dogs have a, special last night or what? So I kind of knocked
Actually,
Red Dogs a little bit.
It was probably the other bar, the one that's in the middle between Johnny Mercer's and Red Dogs.
No, it's Red Dogs.
No, the biggest, I'm sorry. I guess we're having a personal conversation in front of everyone. The one that had the biggest drug bust ever was the one that's in between Red Dogs and Johnny Mercer's.
The little outdoor thing.
Something about a turtle.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
for 401ks. Thank you, Melissa. You're sweet.
Thank you.
See, it's encouragement like that keeps me from muting Ellen.
He would mute me anyway.
I might. It's fun. So you've got 401k versus IRA. IRA, you have two types, the traditional, the Roth. Okay. 401ks offer higher limits. Contributions to 401ks and traditional IRAs are tax deductible. A Roth is not tax deductible, but you take it out tax free. You can take a loan against a 401k.
But
so
you get taxed
if you
a lot,
hit a hard
don't you?
spot or something in your life, career, get laid off temporarily, you can borrow from your 401k. You cannot from your IRA. You can take money out, but you'll pay a 10% penalty in addition to the income taxes you owe.
Yeah.
So it's really painful to take money out of an IRA.
It should hurt
also,
a lot.
If there is a bankruptcy issue in the future, the 401k is more protected than an IRA. If there's an adverse lawsuit, if there's a bankruptcy, the 401k generally is considered to be safer than the IRA. Now, there was the issue of catch-up. If you are over 50,
I was thinking of a joke. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Do we want to hear
Mama
it?
Tomato and the Daddy Tomato were walking down the street. Baby Tomato was lagging behind. So the Daddy Tomato walked over and he stomped on Baby Tomato and said, "Catch up."
I got nothing.
All right,
y'all.
cool.
I thought mine were better. Y'all go ahead and vote if you want to and let Ellen know. But I thought mine were better.
Clay says that I have no jokes. I'm hilarious, but I'm not actually funny. At least not intentionally.
Yeah, she's a funny person,
Continue.
but she got no jokes.
I just,
Yeah, just watching her be around her, she does goofy things. It's like I have a kind of a standing joke. Girls on elevated surfaces is always going to be entertaining.
And a friend of mine just broke her foot by standing on her nightstand trying to fix a curtain beside her bed. So, yeah. She proved your point.
I mean, history, time and time again, has proven my point. It's just anytime I'm out and I see a girl getting up on elevated surface, I start nudging people, say, "Watch, you're about to be greatly entertained."
Exactly, Claudia. He doesn't like Pulp Fiction. That was one of the jokes there.
I actually like Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction.
You don't recall that joke from Pulp Fiction? That was part of one of the jokes
I do.
you told. Okay.
I do.
Chunk, I got nothing, buddy. What do you want me to do? I don't have your clear. Sorry.
Got a question on the catch-up contributions. if you are over 50, you have limits. I'm sorry. If you're under 50, we talked about the limit you could contribute for 401k. It's 22.5. But once you turn 50, there's a provision that allows something called a catch-up contribution, catch-up contributions.
I can't stop thinking about tomatoes.
It allows say I get it now. I didn't even catch that first. I was like, where the hell is
Oh my
this? joke
God,
come
really?
from?
Catch
Yeah.
up.
See, I'm thinking
You
about
just now got
finance
it.
and
You
people's
just-
questions and careers and money, and Ellen's
Wait, you
thinking about
just got
Pulp
it?
Fiction.
You just got it. You just got it. Okay.
But
See, now it's funny.
no,
No. Okay.
she got no jokes. Catch-up provisions. I'm going to get this out sometime tonight. I'm determined.
What
I
do
am
you
going
think,
to.
Chuck? What do you
I'm
think?
going to give it my best effort. Well, if you're over 50, you can contribute or funnel an extra. It's 7,500 into a 401k. Now I'm trying to think.
He's watching his little
Remembering, I'm
boy.
trying to think what the rules are for the IRA, the catch-up provisions for an IRA, and I know there's an issue with the IRS. And I forget what it is. I didn't think to check that before we went on.
Was it to not be a tomato?
No, it has to do with income thresholds and
I'm
a
dropping the
weird little
jokes.
application. But let me just say this, with a 401k, you can add an additional, over and above the 22.5, you can add an
Where is it?
additional 7,500 once you pass 50. It's called a catch-up provision. If you want to know, if you're interested in doing it with an IRA, you want the information on that, email me, moffatonmail@gmail.com, and
Moffat
I'll
on
get you
money.
a better answer.
Not Moffat on mail, Moffat on money.
moffatonmoney@gmail.com. So, yeah, I will get you a better answer.
I don't see what you want, buddy. There's nothing up there.
What else on a 401k am I
Sorry.
missing or forgetting?
I don't know. I got two dogs
questions.
in my lap. I don't have anything. There's nothing up here. Okay.
Living with Chunk and Talou. Let's see. Typically, is a 401k typically more profitable than a mutual fund? A 401k is just a legal structure that you can invest in and buy stocks or mutual funds in. So you can pick, you have investment choices within an IRA or a 401k. The 401k is not an investment vehicle. The IRA is not an investment vehicle. It's just a legal structure that allows the income from that to accumulate tax deferred.
Y'all, I don't have a ball. I don't have it. Get your gator. There's not one in here. I don't have one. Chunk.
Any of y'all want high maintenance dogs? We got a couple for sale cheap.
You will not give my dogs away. I've got one in the middle of my desk and one that is losing his mind. I don't have a ball. The spherical object does not exist. Not in here. Chunk, what do you
got to
want?
understand Chunk. Chunk during the day is pretty chill. But when night hits, it's like his time, his prime time. He wants to chase ball. And I'll literally throw the ball, he'll retrieve it. I'll throw it 50, 100 times a night. He just thinks nighttime is his time. So, I'm sitting on the sofa, watching TV, eating dinner, whatever, just throwing the ball out. Doesn't matter. He loves it. He is obsessed with it. Doesn't get tired of it. Will do it as many times as you throw it. Don't ask me why or how. He acts like he's a retriever rather than a Morkie.
I am
But-
emailing you pictures of what they're doing right now. Because
Brentwood
seriously,
Chic, after next year, if make over 145K, then it's not tax free. That's with the Roth. Remember, I talked about how with a Roth you can withdraw money tax free. Well, the IRS is trying to implement a rule. If you make more than 145K, then I believe it applies to the catch-up provision. Anything you add over the Roth maximum using a catch-up provision is not available to take out tax-free. And I think they don't even give you a deduction on it. Brentwood, do you know offhand? Do they allow you to deduct the catch-up portion since they won't allow you to take it out tax-free? I think if you put it in a Roth, you still don't get the deduction. So it would be better off creating a traditional. Well, you couldn't. That one anyway. It gets a little confusing. I don't know if you can use a new IRA for a catch-up provision. So instead of contributing it to a Roth, you set up a new traditional IRA, add the catch-up provision to the traditional IRA, and then get the deduction. But I'm thinking you wouldn't get it then either. So
okay, I think that Chunk needs to go TT.
okay.
I think that's his main malfunction. So I'm gonna handle that real quick. If you want to
All
show
right,
the
we'll see you soon.
pictures that I just sent you, but and then we have got, in case you didn't know, Michael Knowles has the game. He's the one that put it out from Daily Wire, the yes or no game. Well, he did an expansion pack. The yes or no conspiracy expansion pack. So we will be handling some of those after we do the questions and after I get Chunk to stop doing whatever the hell he's doing. See y'all in a minute. I know, I'm retarded. Can't do it. Oh, whoop, it's not what I meant to do at all. Hey y'all. How do I get rid of me? You got it?
Yes, I am
good?
downloading them now. Sorry. Are you gone? Yeah, I think she's gone. Okay. Well, let me see if you want to see what a anxious dog looks like. There's Chunk as he is demanding attention. Chunk is not per se photographic because he's all black. You can't, you have a hard time seeing his nose, his eyes, anything. But in person, the little booger's kind of cute. He's got like this little underbite, the little teeth just barely showing out underneath, and he's got 50 million different expressions. He is animated, he's energetic, he's sweet as he can be. But and Ellen goes, and annoying. But there's Chunk wanting his ball. And then Tallulah, they're on the desk wanting constant attention. Tallulah's not as easygoing as Chunk. She's a little bit more anxious. I refer to her as neurotic. I don't know if that's a fair description, but she is more attention demanding throughout the day or night. If you try to pet Chunk, Tallulah's going to get up from wherever she is, come running in, knock your hand off, and demand that you pet her instead. She's like, if you need to pet somebody, I'm here. I'm always here for you. I'll always let you pet me. You don't need anybody else. Chunk, on the other hand, if I'm petting Tallulah, he's chill. He's cool. He's like, it's okay. I know you love me. Just because you give Tallulah a little attention, that doesn't hurt me at all. But Tallulah, no. She's like, she gets butt hurt if you don't give her attention. Yeah, so she's sweet. She's a sweet little girl. And as you can tell, Ellen gave her the full Monty on the haircut. Remember, if we had pictures of Sandra's dogs, and I might have, commented or complimented her on the on the haircut. But Tallulah looks like her now. Tallulah is got the same haircut. They were both itchy and scratchy and hot. It's been really hot. So Ellen gave her the full trim. She looks a little different. So, but she is sweet. So that's Tallulah. Tallulah and Chunk, two main stars of the show. So 401k. Oh, need to put this up. Saw this also. Quaddy, maybe you should do a survey of the chat's age. 40s, 50s, 90s. I was sitting there thinking there's a way to do a poll on YouTube. I mean, we broadcast from StreamYard. StreamYard doesn't have a way to do it, but there's a way to do it in YouTube. Need to find that. Need to figure that out. I'll have any suggestions? And this is where, Secret Squirrel was really good to us and for us. She had a lot of the little suggestions or ideas for us. Start a poll. Okay, I'm going to put up a poll here. Age. Of course. Options. We're going to go with, let's see, 30s, 40s, 50s.
I'm back.
90s.
Can you hear me?
Yes, got you.
Okay.
And everybody
Chunk
is
did his-
glad you were back.
Oh, whatever. Chunk did his 30-second pee, and Tallulah has decided to stay with you if you want to open your door because she really wants to hang out with you.
I just put up a poll. I'm so excited. That's my first poll. How
Did
cool
you?
is that?
Oh, you did. Voluntary, of course. I am there. We're like 33, 33, 33, 50. Yeah, okay. We're mostly Gen Xers, man.
Nobody's hit the 90 yet.
I
Are we
guess my grandpa
discriminating
isn't
based
here.
on age?
I guess my grandpa isn't here.
True. He's he
yeah,
would be
so-
our token 90-year-old. KP, I never tell my age. Yeah. And that is quite all right. It is not required. Just following Quaddy's suggestion, which Quaddy may be heading out on us. Quaddy, really appreciate enjoying you being here tonight. Thank you.
Oh,
Squirrel
She
is
is.
still watching us. I believe she is. She was committed to this channel, said she was committed to building it up and getting it going, and she was really a big help. We loved us some Squirrel.
Do you have your thing or is it downstairs?
What thing?
I'll get it. Never mind. Hang on. I'll be right back.
So right now we've got pretty even breakdown, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So there's still time left in the poll. If you haven't voted and want to vote, throw that in. Wesley jumping in at 20s. Didn't include that. So I should have put 20s and 30s. Okay, it's my first poll. I'm a little rough on the edges, but I'll get there. Kind of excited to have figured it out. Oh, Ellen's talking in the background. I was trying to listen to her. She's doing something. I don't know what. Tolu doesn't know what she wants. Tolu doesn't want in here. She wants in my lap. Like I say, this dog is relatively demanding when it comes to wanting attention. So Ellen's running back upstairs, getting her exercise tonight.
I am.
We're going to, you got those questions lined up? Let's do a few of those questions. Ah, yeah.
And the dove.
She loved her birds.
She was just a great human. Anyway. All right. Yes and no?
Oh, I got to do one thing too.
What's that?
Talk for a second.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Are you talking to yourself?
Entertain folks with your wit and wisdom. Give them some more ketchup jokes.
Every time you say ketchup, I think ketchup and the Pulp Fiction squash the baby tomato. It's
good,
a thing.
though.
Yes.
Takes me just a
and
second.
long live the
All right.
squirrel. What?
If y'all remember,
This is not
last
yours.
week.
Come on. Mhm.
if
Sorry.
y'all remember last week, we described the exploits of a dog chasing a
Oh,
bear
yeah.
out of the yard.
Yeah. I thought we
Catherine's
had-
dog.
Yes.
Catherine's dog making an appearance. Oh, geez.
Oh, you're having issues.
Yeah, hold on. We'll get this. I got to redo it. Don't ask me why it quits doing it sometimes. There
Hi, baby.
is Boomer. Boom.
Boom, boom.
So, yeah, this is Boom, who was chasing the bear. I don't know if y'all can see the bear. Maybe is that a little better?
Mm-hmm.
That is not an insignificant size bear.
Nope.
So we got to give Boom some props.
Major props.
And I don't honestly know how big Boom is, but that looks like about 20 or 30 pounds of pure hate right there.
You know, like
But you know-
Clay always tells dag nabbit, protect the mama.
Protect the mama.
Mm-hmm.
And the sucker has actually picked up on that. When
Mhm.
Ellen's outside at night, Chunk will come and sit between her legs watching the street up and down. Now, during the day, he doesn't. It's interesting. He acts very
Mhm.
different and always stands between her and whatever at night. So I think that's
He
kind of
does.
cool. And boom, hats off to you too, bud. That's a ballsy move going,
You get that,
going
Burr.
after a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So Catherine, we're giving some love to Boom. You let him know. Give him hugs for us. But there's
Hey,
Boom.
Bubba.
Boom and the bear. Boom goes the bear. All right. Ellen
Right.
has some questions.
These are the yes or no from the game from Michael Knowles, which, that's how we do the whole yes, no thing and what you think the other person is going to answer.
And y'all will just simply give your responses because you don't have a counterparty to try to guess. I'm trying to guess what Ellen would say. Ellen's trying to guess what I say. Y'all give your response.
And we'll wait. We'll give it a few minutes for you guys to respond what you think. And this, I'm just drawing off the top of the deck. I just got this in today, actually. And this is the conspiracy pack, the expansion pack. So, all right. First one is Joe Biden won the 2020 election by the largest number of votes in U.S. history.
Good old Ellen. It starts off with the lightweight to begin with.
You're going to say on? No. How was that? No, I think
And
you
you're
did.
going to say no. Now,
You're wrong. I think you did.
My point is that there's some questions I've got about some of the activities, like in several of the counting stations, they said they closed, and the Republican poll watchers left, went home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of the Democrats stayed and kept counting. That's a question to me. There's video of a van driving up at 3 a.m. and unloading a pallet of ballots.
Clay. I didn't say he did it legally, but
No,
he
I'm just
did
saying.
win more votes than any other U.S. president.
Yeah, I don't. I'm talking about the legality of it. So, and I don't know that there was fraud. I just want it investigated.
But that was the question.
Yeah, I know. I'm just explaining. I usually explain my answers afterward, and I'm just explaining mine. So, I'm very clear. I think one man, one vote. Everybody I know has a license or can get one. I think there were things set up during the COVID era that traditionally have been considered fraud or illegal, like ballot harvesting. There were tons of ballot harvesting going on. So there's just a lot of things to me that put the vote in question. So did Biden win? I don't know. You watch his rallies. Nobody showed up to his rallies. Nobody really followed the guy. The polls, didn't show that kind of excitement or commitment. But voting day comes and he gets the largest turnout, a larger turnout than Obama did in 2008. That's a little weird to me. I'm not going to lie. There's some questions there. He could have won. He's our president. Deal is done. I'm more interested in assuring that there is no fraud going forward. Ellen has once again got no sound.
Yeah, I'm assuming you can't hear me. Did you mute me?
No, I did not mute you. Cannot unmute you. Oops, she just hung up on me. So she is again addressing issues with her mic. So y'all did not answer that question. Don't be a coward. You got to answer the questions too.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you now.
Thank God. Okay, good. All right.
I was just
No
getting
one's
on everybody
answering.
because they didn't answer the questions.
Well, dag nabbit. Okay. It's a scary question. Many world leaders regularly commune with demons.
Do what?
Many world leaders regularly commune with demons.
I'm
This is
like,
the-
next
the-
question.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Okay. Light bulb companies intentionally make them go bad.
Light bulb companies make them intentionally go bad.
Intentionally to go bad.
Design them to fail early.
True. No? No light bulb intentionally going
My
bad?
only thinking is, for example, like refrigerators and washing machines, they used to build those things like bricks, like an old Volvo. They would run and last forever. Nowadays, they have a life of 8 to 10 years. And I think that's by design because they want the replacement business. They want the maintenance business.
Of
So
course.
I kind
They
of
go out of
lean
business if you
on,
don't keep buying their products.
yeah, I kind of lean toward, companies intentionally not making durable products in order to sell more. And it saves on price, to
If you're a
build something that's
business-
really high quality, that's going to
Yeah.
last for life. How many people could afford it? That's a legitimate
Well-
issue.
I mean, I had a washer dryer for like 20 years. So, I mean, and then I just had to give it away because you already had one. But honestly, for the demons question, okay, I got you, Melissa. No, they don't. I agree with you. That's
Yeah.
But with I'm still using my 13-inch TV that I got in Nigeria. See, they used to make stuff that lasts, but now I think they don't. I think they do it on purpose. I think because if you make something that lasts forever, no one's going to buy anything you make again. Like, no parts to replace, no light bulbs to replace, no heating elements to replace, no whatever. I mean, it's just, and then once
Yeah,
you've
and
sold
I don't
enough,
know how
then
much
there's no one left to buy your product.
And I don't know how much more building that kind of quality would cost. Honestly, have no idea. I wish we had a manufacturing engineer on the show.
Clay, the toaster we have, how old is it?
I would say 60 years.
It is the best toaster ever. Like,
It's my mother's toaster. Taking it with me
perfectly.
everywhere I've gone. I love that thing.
So here you go. I'm just saying. And we have a hand mixer also from Clay's mother. I had my own, but Clay was like, I got my mom's. So we used it. And it's still kicking and firing. I mean, people used to make things that lasted a very long time. So have you changed your mind anywhere near that?
And some manufacturers still may. I mean, KitchenAid, you buy one of their blenders, they're practically indestructible.
Excuse me. I don't have your ball. The spherical object is not here. Okay, I will throw your gator, but I don't have the spherical thing. What? He thinks I still have it somewhere. All right, next question. Soy and tofu were part of a program in China to feminize the Western population.
Michael's been drinking a little too much when he's coming up with some of these questions. I mean, people been eating soy ever since when? Now we know now that it does encourage estrogen, but I don't think that was the original purpose behind it.
Okay, so what is DMT?
EMT?
DMT. D is in dog. I
Yep.
don't have it, Chunk. I don't have it.
Wasn't he a rapper?
DMT experiences are nothing more than the result of chemicals in the brain. Is that like a near death or a what is DMT?
DMT.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all know? Chat knows everything.
Who comes up with these questions?
And we can just move on.
DMT is a fast-acting tryptamine psychedelic. So I'm thinking like LSD.
Okay, so or nothing. I'd say yes.
Yeah,
For you.
I got nothing.
You got nada?
Yeah.
All right. Mediums and fortune tellers are all scams. You're going to say this.
I'm
No,
going to say
you're not.
yes.
No. I do. I think that some are prophetic, but I think that they are on the wrong side of spirituality. Let's put it that way.
I'm like, if somebody could predict the future, they'd be making a killing in the market. So far, I haven't seen anybody consistently do it.
Well, like I told you, I've had a friend, a medium, didn't know it for a long time. And she could see things, but she said, if you ever speak to someone who tells you what the future is, they're full of crap. She was like, because you have to consider that everything being the exact same as it is right now and no changes. I could tell you what's going to happen. She's like, but it changes because people's decisions change, people's mindset changes, people's whatever. And I was like, fair enough. But yes, some of them do have sight and they can see. I do believe that. I'm not saying that they're right or they are holy or they are with God. I'm just saying that I think some can actually see.
Yeah, I've just never seen anybody in writing, in print, live, in person that consistently predicts the future. Sometimes they'll say something that's kind of vague. What's the guy's name? Nostradamus
Nostradamus.
is probably the most
Tomato,
famous
tomato.
one.
Yeah.
But if you look at his actual prophecies, they're very vague, generalistic in their wording. Did he really see or prophesy, or I don't know. It's not consistent enough. It's not direct enough. It's not clear enough for me to say that really is a apt prediction, or
And
somebody just reaching to find a set of circumstances that kind of fits that vague description, weird description.
Well, it's kind of like Edgar Casey. I mean, he gave people solutions to problems and illnesses that they had. He couldn't remember any of it. But, like a friend of mine, the friend that was a medium, and she told me things about my life in the past that no one knew ever. She was like, if someone tells you the future, then don't believe them because it is based on the exact circumstances of where you are right now.
Yeah.
With no one changing their minds about anything. And she's like, we have free will. Even the slightest a feather could fall from the sky and that could change everything.
Next question.
All right. Sorry. There are dead bodies on the surface of the moon.
Somebody needs to get a hold of your boy Knowles and calm his ass down.
I think his staff does these. So I'm going to say, oh no.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's no.
Oh no.
Dead bodies. Yeah, no.
I mean, I've never been there, so I can't say.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
we're not going to do that one. Oh God, this conspiracy pack sucks.
yeah, I agree with Brentwood. It's no just rocks.
Yeah.
And then KP posted a minute ago, I'm cooking dinner because I got home late today, but I'm listening intently to yes or no. You know, some of these questions have been interesting in the past. Tonight it's a little sketchy.
This is the new pack. I mean, I could go through some of the old ones. But we've almost gotten through them all.
We might
Okay,
have to
this is
do something
interesting.
requiring y'all to submit weird questions.
So the Bermuda Triangle lure was just a way to keep tourists from seeing drugs being shipped into the U.S.
Because the Bermuda Triangle's been around a lot longer than
On or no? I'm trying to figure
major,
out which way it
on or
goes.
no, however that goes. It's been around a lot longer in terms of
Yeah.
theories than
Then
drugs.
the drug.
So, yeah, I'm thinking that's not related.
No. Yeah. Melissa says no. We're not doing that one. This one is weird. Okay, the world is less than 1,000,000 years old.
Any day now.
Clearly, you're going to say on or no. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say I don't know. And a couple different things about that. One, if we look, I remember seeing a study on the pressure of oil.
Exactly. Plus or minus a few million.
Few
I'm
million.
with you on that one. Mm-hmm.
The pressure of oil and at the rate it dissipates would seem to indicate the Earth was about 10,000 years old. If you look at population growth, figuring that the historical average reproduction rate was it 3.2, something like that, then the population would have grown to this number in about 8,000 years. But then you have the radioactive decay methods, et cetera, that indicate millions of years. So,
Mhm.
Sometimes I wonder if there was a previous existence on this earth and, some sort of catastrophic event wipes out humanity, it kind of restarts. I don't know.
That's a
So
toughie.
and that's it. I don't know. I think there's legitimate science to argue all sorts of perspectives. There's
Mhm.
no one theory that I'm familiar with that fits everything that we know or think or have an idea of. So,
All right. So now we have yes, we have no or on, and then we have sideways, which is I have no idea. All right. Is that fair?
that's fair.
All right. Next one. The flood story from the Bible is a historical event, the truth of which is suppressed by the scientific community.
Oh, geez.
That's what you think.
I think it's historical because that story is consistent among different cultures in history.
Mhm.
There's evidence of a diluvian flood.
Okay, we got to know.
There is, you have fish bones on top of mountains. Now, was that because flooding and the mountains rose up? There's all sorts of different possibilities, but I tend to think more that there was, but
Well, there's also, you can find crustacean remains in the Badlands
yeah.
of South Dakota.
So, Brentwood, there could be a flood, but details are lost to time. that could be accurate.
And if y'all haven't
Again,
seen,
probably a better answer would be
I have no idea. Yeah.
don't know for sure.
Are we just talking blood or all animals and
Flood. I
No,
would
just the
imagine that's
flood.
flood.
Just the flood.
Well, the part to me is science conspiring to cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a conspiracy theory to necessarily cover it up.
But they're
So-
also talking about, science. Science is funny because you and I were talking, and I showed you a video on Atlantis, which is apparently in Africa on the western shore. And that whole thing was flooded. Do you remember that?
Yeah, there's just
I mean, there's so many things that everyone thought Atlantis was in the ocean. It's not. It's in Africa, apparently.
I do know some people used to mock particularly the Old Testament for some of its description, saying that never happened, like the walls of Jericho falling down.
Mm-hmm.
And over the past 50 years, archaeologists have made, a lot of discoveries of some of these lost cities and things. And so
Yep.
far that, what they've found is that the Bible has actually been relatively consistent. And now some archaeologists study the Bible for clues in archaeology. So the thing is, knowledge changes over time, and we've got to allow for that. What we can speak to what we know today,
Mm-hmm.
but information, knowledge, interpretations, all that changes over time. So that's, to me, part of the joy of science. It's not that I have things cast in concrete. It's that I enjoy the learning process. And that's really what science is. When somebody says, well, science doesn't say anything. It's just a process of discovery. Never ends.
Okay, I'm going to private chat you this message, this link, so you can put it on there in case anyone's interested. Crap, that's a long link. But that is the. Let me try to find a better link. Hang on. This should be the dude I follow. Hang on.
What is that? A link to Atlantis?
No, hang on. Is that really like the whole thing? That's a lot. Okay, let's try this one. It's actually went to YouTube.
And just in case you doubted, her link is like 50 lines long.
That one's a lot smaller. No, but it's the crap. The wrist shot
Yes.
structure in Africa is supposed to be Atlantis. I sent you that next. I can't post it because of I don't know why.
There it is, in case you're curious as to what all the confusion and secrecy is about. That's the link to whatever the Atlantis thing Ellen's referring to. I have not seen it, have not watched it.
I showed it to you.
It may be a porn video. I don't know what she's sending me. So I take no responsibility.
It's called the Eye of the Sahara. When you're in space, you see this round structure. It's got many different kind of layers in it of roundness, circular layers, I guess.
Yeah, next time you're in space.
The Eye of the Sahara, the rick shot structure is supposed. That's what where they think Atlantis is.
That's
or what it was.
What you see when next time you're in space.
Clay. Love you. Next question. All right. Where are we?
We might need to get the non-conspiracy theory update box.
Yeah, I know, right?
This one's a little rich.
I'm trying to find some that are okay. Chunk, you gotta get off my foot, boo. Okay, the United Nations exists to consolidate world power into the hands of a few.
What the hell? Let's go for yes.
Why not?
What do y'all
Oh,
say?
this is a kind of a good one.
Is the United Nations working to consolidate power? I would say most governments are working to consolidate power. That's what governments do over time. History shows.
Pleading the
Brentwood,
fifth.
pleading the fifth.
Hmm. All right. Oh. The World Economic Forum is promoting 15-minute cities to control us. I
Now,
think you're going to say that.
I think we need to hold on to this
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think most people are familiar with 15-minute cities. And I
I'm
would
going to
say
say yes.
I
You
would
would?
say yes. Yeah.
I
And we
will
will
hold that one to the
actually,
side.
I thought about going into that a little bit tonight, but I think I'll wait till Saturday
Okay.
because it's an interesting topic. It's a little bit of
big
time.
deal, especially with the Hawaii thing going on and Maui and Lahaina burning down. That's
And the 15-minute city is really just putting people in communities where everything they need is within 15 minutes. They don't have to leave the house as much.
Mhm.
And there's a whole discussion and underlying ideas behind the design and purpose of that. So we'll get into that probably Saturday.
Sounds good. All right.
I don't think most
Next.
people are familiar with 15-minute cities.
Oh, okay. You got to watch something. You're going to hate me for it, but I got to make you watch something before you do that. Before Saturday. Okay. Milk isn't good for you.
I had to think
I love me some milk.
It's expressed as a negative. So
Okay.
I'm saying milk isn't good for you. No, that's wrong. Milk is good
Correct.
for you.
Milk is very good for you.
Yes.
I don't care what kind of milk it is. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not nut milk, but goat milk, cow's milk.
Yeah.
They're pretty
I need to
good.
get up with your boy Knowles. He needs some help.
I know. Dr. Moo here. Oh, Brentwood, you're hilarious. Listen, I love me some milk. And Clay gets mad because I want whole milk. I want the whole red label vitamin D milk. I drank it my whole childhood and I will continue to drink it till the day I die.
I don't get mad at you for that.
Hmm? But
I don't
you
get
want
mad
the
at
like
you
the
for that.
less calorie, like the half fat or the half.
No, I
I'm just like,
compromise
you
at
give me that.
2%. The 1% and the skim just is too watery to me.
Yeah.
But trying to cut back on the fat content for a while. Now I've gotten to the point where hell with it.
I'm trying. This is Michael Knowles. We need to tag him in this video because this expansion pack. All right. I found actually a decent one. Germany lost World War II, but the Nazis won.
What the hell does that even mean?
No.
I mean,
No. Michael Knowles. Seriously?
is that really a conspiracy theory? That yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, these questions, Knowles, seriously, we need to tag Knowles. Somebody, Knowles, you need to give me a call. I can give you some help here.
The CEO and founder of Facebook is a reptilian. On a plane with a girl from Texas? I don't think so. All
That
of these are
just-
weird. Brent, what else? No, that's just a weird question. I know, Melissa. It's a very freaking weird question. COVID was a Chinese tool for population control. COVID was an American designed drug by Anthony Fauci, or not drug, but a virus by Anthony Fauci for. You think it is for population control from the Chinese?
Oh no, I thought you were saying that was Fauci part of it.
Oh, Fauci created the whole thing.
Did he design it?
Where'd you go? Oh, ha ha ha. Let's not. Let's not go there. That's just no. You
It's-
know.
It's too late. We just did.
Can you just okay? The problem is that Fauci, Clay, seriously, negative. Thank you. Fauci, Clay.
Whoops.
Fauci, actually, the guy from North Carolina, designed this coronavirus and then sent it to China because the US said they couldn't do it here anymore. And so he was told to shut down all of his experiments, and he didn't. Instead, he just sent them overseas. And the NIH just funded all of it, which is
Yeah, I
really
don't understand
sad.
what we were doing funding a communist Chinese party bioweapons lab and helping
because
them
it was
design
ours.
more efficient chemical agents, chemical
Because Fauci
biological
wanted
agents.
his experiments to continue.
Also, documents now have shown a couple months ago that we have a biochemical engineering lab in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing?
We sent it to Ukraine, we sent it to China, and we sent
I'm
them to
just-
Russia.
I'm just amicably curious as to how many of these labs do we have around the world, and what the hell are we doing?
Like the ones in Africa with the beagles or the dogs.
Well, we're not going to get into all that, but
I'm just saying, like, that's all Fauci.
yeah,
And someone should have fired him a long time ago.
Brentwood. Nope, someone screwed up a lab experiment. That's putting it
They
mildly.
just leaked it. I mean, they just accidentally, from what they said, or what we can ascertain from it, but it was all
Yeah.
freaking Fauci.
Somebody
and-
probably got accidentally infected, didn't know it, left the lab, went out in the population,
an
started spreading
airplane.
it.
which was a problem.
But yeah, it's a different world.
Some of these, I'm just like, okay. There are pyramids in the Grand Canyon.
I just refuse to answer that. I'm sorry. I don't even know where something like that comes from. I've been to the Grand Canyon. I've seen it. I'm telling you, there's not pyramids in the Grand Canyon.
The oldest mummy ever discovered was found in Nevada.
Okay, I think we're going. Anybody want a Michael Knowles card deck?
Because I will
Seriously.
send this whole set to you.
Seriously, he
Hey,
got
here
a
we go.
hold of some prime.
Ganja.
Michael, man, baby, what
Y'all
you
were
doing?
Ripping when y'all did this completely.
What you doing, baby? Come on.
The next one, there are more pyramids in America than in all of Egypt.
That actually,
Might be
if
true.
he's talking about the Americas, Mexico,
America.
Guatemala, I can't read it. Is it plural or just singular?
There are more pyramids in America than in all of Egypt.
If he's talking about the United States, America, then I don't know. You've got the pyramid they built out in Vegas. What hotel is that?
I don't know, but I could find little pyramids in rock formations all around America. I'm
Yeah.
sure that, like I said, that's a pyramid.
Now, the Mayans and Aztecs actually built a lot of pyramids. So in the Americas, that would be probably true, but in America, probably not. Melissa, when I was little, I used to say that mountains were really dinosaurs covered with some dirt.
I
Melissa,
like that.
yeah.
That's so cute.
That's a lot better than these damn questions we're covering.
No shit. All right. Cheap. Okay,
Last
this one is
one.
actually this last one. Are you cutting me off of Michael Knowles' question?
Yes. Knowles is killing me.
Killing me too. Cheap ingredients in our food. Low level radiation and plastics contribute to the rise of infertility and also autism. Can I have two? Yes, no. Yes, no. Both.
Sure.
I think vaccines contribute more to infertility and autism than, but all of these I can't say don't contribute.
Yeah. I don't know if I can demonstrate a mechanism for each, but I've kind of, as I've gotten older, I've gotten to the point where we just put too much trash in our bodies.
We do.
I think we need to go back to simpler is better kind of thing. And I mean, it's a trade-off. People talk about, the food we eat nowadays is not as healthy, but
It's not.
because we have the preservatives, we can ship it, we can transport it, we can store it, we can leave it out in the stores for sale longer. There's a greater abundance of food.
But Clay,
So-
that's not true.
So there is
If you
some
have-
trade-offs there in terms of people have enough food to eat and they are living longer. They're living longer and healthier than ever before.
But Clay,
Hell, even our poor people are fat. So there's a trade-off there. If you want perfectly healthy food,
don't make me go
there's
Oliver
going to be
Anthony
less
on
of
you.
it. Huh?
But don't make me go Oliver Anthony on you. Taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Anyway, if you have chickens, you can leave your eggs on the counter. No refrigeration, no AC, no nothing, for at least a month, and they're still good.
That's if you don't wash them. Wash the bloom off of them.
I'm just saying.
So they've got like little chicken poop on them and all sorts of good stuff.
I've never seen chicken poop on an egg I've eaten when I've eaten them from one of my friends. Chickens.
Well, it's there.
None of it's good for us.
Brentwood,
That's
none of
true.
it's good for us, but having food that is not as perfect as could be is still a whole lot better for you than not having food. Yeah, if you don't wash them, put them in a separate jar. You can even put them in water, put in a little pickling lime, and they'll store for 6 months or a year. The pickling lime in the water helps seal the shell and the calcium.
Clay loves anything pickled. If you have anything with vinegar,
It's not. It doesn't.
No, I'm just
actually pickle
saying.
them. It's
Am I
not
wrong there?
vinegar.
I know.
It's
I'm
just
just
a little
saying.
calcium.
I get it. But am I wrong? You love anything pickled.
Pretty much.
Okra, pickles,
Asparagus,
pickled eggs. I think you even like those.
jalapenos.
Jalapenos, anything pickled, this man will
Jalapenos.
devour. Huh?
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. All right, guys. I think
Sam Bankman
we are done.
fried.
Freed.
I like him pickled.
I'd
Don't
like
wash
him
them.
jailed.
Keep the bloom on. They will store at room temperature for far longer. You don't even have to refrigerate them. But if you wash them, got to refrigerate them. They won't keep long. So I need me
Yeah,
some
we actually
chickens.
went up to Maggie Valley, a couple years ago, and they had chickens on the property that we just rented this little cabin. You could go down and get fresh eggs every morning. Of course,
Yeah.
they weren't laying any when we were there, but they had peacocks. Those were cool too. But yeah, that was fun.
Brentwood needs to run. We need to run.
We got to
It's
run.
been a- It's been a good night. Very much appreciate your time and y'all joining us. It's always a good time for us. So thank you very much. We really enjoy seeing you, being with you, and our time is up. We thank you for yours. Y'all have a great night. Blessings to
We'll
you.
see you on Saturday.
Peace out.
Good night.
See you Saturday.
Good night.